Good morning this morning, and welcome to It's finally time, you Michigan fans need to face the music and start to defend not your program, but defend what's right edition of the OHIO podcast. Do us a big favor, everybody, and smash that like button. You all know the deal here at the OHIO podcast. We want a couple things from you. One of them, well, most of them are absolutely free. Number one, hit the thumbs up, hit the smash it, smash it. It's free, cost you nothing. Number two, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It absolutely helps the channel. And number three, take a few seconds, make a comment as you're watching this video. Something strikes your fancy, put it down in the comment section below. Let's have a discussion. And when you do that, if you do those three things, my friends, it helps this video reach a much broader audience. Given the topic, I'm pretty sure this is going to do well. It seems like whenever a Buckeye fan has conversations about the team up north, it's usually a pretty good video. And because Ohio State fans want to watch it, and Team Up North fans want to watch it and hate on it. So here we are. It's quite the conundrum, if you will. This has been a interesting 24 hours here at the OHIO podcast, as we have dealt with the obvious situation of the Weiss story. And we're just going to dive right into that, man. We're going to dissect it. I've got feelings that are directed not so much about the story, but about how Michigan fans should approach this story. It's time, you guys. It's time you as a fan base do the right thing here, man. It 100% needs to happen, guys. You continue to do this thing where you deflect, you blame Ohio State fans, you everybody else is doing it, things of this nature. It's time to face the music. It's time you get upset about your program and you do something about it. You have a voice as a fan. You, as Michigan fans, are one of the largest fan bases in all of college football next to Ohio State. You have more power than you realize. Stop sucking at the teat of the individuals who are running your program into the ground and continuing to somehow idol worship these people. It is time to face the music and tell them enough is enough. Get out of your program. Clean house, fans. You have that right. You have that ability. You have that voice. Stop sucking the crap out of the hose that people like Scam Webb continually shove down your throat and do something about it. I'm sick of it. Let's dive into the story, guys. So this is from the Detroit Free Press. I'm reading from your own paper, folks. Your own paper. Here we go. A former Michigan football assistant coach was indicted on federal criminal charges Thursday, accused of hacking into computers at more than 100 universities across the country and stealing the identities of more than 3,300 student athletes, most of them women he spied on. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, former U of M quarterbacks coach and co-offensive coordinator Matt Weiss, 42, of Ann Arbor, pulled off his scheme over 8 years between 2015 and 2023, during which he broke into student-athlete databases maintained by a third-party vendor. Weiss primarily targeted female college athletes, the indictment reads. He researched and targeted these women based on their school affiliation, athletic history, and characteristics. His goal was to obtain private photographs and videos never intended to be shared beyond intimate partners. According to the indictment, Weiss downloaded personal intimate digital photographs and videos, unwitting women, and after gaining access to certain accounts, he would return to them later, sometimes months, and in some cases, years later, to look for additional photos and videos. Weiss kept notes on individuals whose photographs and videos that he viewed, including notes commenting on their bodies and sexual preferences, the indictment reads. While Weiss is charged with identity theft, He is not accused of doing so to steal money, but rather to obtain personal information about people, like their photos and videos. While identity theft tends to be associated with financial crimes, identity thieves also steal information for other reasons, like to cover up another crime, get medical benefits, apply for a job using fake credentials, or to create a new identity to avoid getting caught for a crime. In Weiss's case, the feds say he did it to gain access to private, intimate photos and videos of unsuspecting college students. According to the indictment, Weiss started out his scheme by first cracking into the accounts of people with elevated access into university databases, such as trainers and athletic directors, who worked at more than 100 colleges and universities across the country. He then downloaded confidential information and medical data of more than 150,000 student athletes at those schools and downloaded the students' passwords that they used to access the system. He would then use that information to break into the other student accounts maintained by Keffer Development Services, a third party vendor. Weiss cracked the students' encrypted passwords, the indictment said, helped from his own research on the internet. Weiss whittled down his pool of targets to more than 2,000 student athletes, breaking into their social media, email, and other accounts by guessing or resetting their passwords, the indictment said. Through further research, he obtained students' personal information such as maiden names, pet names, places of birth, and nicknames, all of which, the indictment said, helped him gain access to yet more information and photos. Weiss also illegally gained access to the social media, email, and other accounts of another 1,300 plus students and alumni from universities across the country, according to the 24 count indictment. Once Weiss obtained access to these accounts, the indictment states he downloaded personal, intimate digital photographs and videos that were never intended to be shared beyond intimate partners. Weiss attorney Douglas Mulkoff was not readily available for comment. No kidding. U of M has not yet commented on the scandal. The university's football program had little to say. No kidding. I'd refer you to the FBI regarding this case, Michigan football spokesman Dave Abloff said in a text message to the free in a text message. Just I refer you to the FBI regarding this case. I'll get to that in a second. As we stated previously, we will not comment on any personal matter. The U.S. Attorney's Office and FBI, meanwhile, have vowed to vigorously pursue this case. Our office will move aggressively to prosecute computer hacking to protect the private accounts of our citizens, according to the U.S. Attorney Julie Beck said in a statement. We stand ready with our law enforcement partners to bring those who illegally invade the privacy of others to justice. Detroit's FBI chief I can't Chevy Gibson. Let's just call this person Chevy. He or she added, today's indictment of Matthew Weiss underscores the commitment and meticulous investigative efforts of our law enforcement professionals. Of the investigation, the FBI chief stressed that U of M police and the feds worked relentlessly on this case. Weiss Weiss's legal troubles surfaced in January of 2023 when he was placed on administrative leave after coming under investigation by U of M police for a possible computer crime. He was fired 2 weeks later. Weiss was first placed on leave after U of M police received a report of computer access crimes that occurred in Schembechler Hall from December 21st to the 23rd. According to the UM police log, a university employee informed police about the incident, on January 5th. Reports surfaced that the authorities were seen in marked and unmarked vehicles at Weiss's Ann Arbor home a few days later. At the time, Weiss released a brief statement to ESPN. Listen to this statement. This is so on par for what you as a fan base allow yourselves to believe with your team. Listen to this. I'm the victim. I am aware of the ongoing investigation by the University of Michigan Police Department and fully cooperate with investigators. I look forward to the matter being resolved. Out of respect for the integrity of the investigation, I will not have any further comment. Wow. 10 months after Weiss's firing, the Free Press learned the FBI had months earlier joined U of M's investigation into Weiss's alleged computer crimes. The probe would eventually lead to Thursday's indictment. If convicted, Weiss faces a maximum of 5 years in prison on each count of unauthorized access to computers and 2 years on each count of aggravated identity theft. Conviction on account of aggravated identity theft triggers a 2-year mandatory minimum sentence to be served consecutive to the sentence imposed for the underlying offense. So if I read that correctly, he's looking at somewhere between 2 to 7 years if indeed he's found guilty. Weiss had been on staff with one of the Harbaughs, Jim or John, since 2007 when he was a graduate assistant at Stanford, the latter 2 seasons under Jim. Jim hired Weiss at Michigan in 2021 after Weiss worked for 12 seasons under John with the Baltimore Ravens. At Michigan, Weiss was promoted from quarterbacks coach to co-offensive coordinator in 22 after Josh Gaddis departed for Miami. In Weiss's 2 seasons, Michigan went 25-3, won consecutive Big Ten championships, and made a pair of trips to the college football playoff. The Wolverines won the national championship a year after Weiss's dismissal. In other words, the Detroit Free Press is trying to also say that if they get any punishment from this, it shouldn't count against their national championship. Okay, whatever, guys. Whatever. Feel better about yourselves. Okay. I have a tweet from James Yoder I'm going to read in just a second as well. I'm not going to let that one go, buddy. But let me get these thoughts off my mind here about what we just read. What is the benign, innocent reasoning behind what he did? He has got some kind of weird identity fetish where he wants to look and steal the identity of college students. I guess that's like, the most innocent thing he's done here. But let's be honest, it's probably worse than that. He either did this because he was going to blackmail these people by using those photographs to, hey, I'm going to release this on the internet, or I'm going to send this to so and so unless you send me money, or you do what I do. Blackmailing, right? That might even be more innocent than what it could other be, and him selling that information on the black market, which, if in the hands of the wrong kind of person, could do serious damage to these people. So this is not an innocent guy. That comment he wrote to ESPN is trash. This is a trash human being who was coaching a program who we now know during the same time period was involved in a lot of cheating. Now, if you believe some of the reports that are being thrown out there by like Buckeye Scoop and other individuals who've been reporting on this, this opened the door. This FBI investigation may have opened the door for further investigation as to what else was on that computer, including practice film from other universities like Ohio State, as well as the gambling issue that Michigan was caught up in, and a bunch of information and private information from not just female student athletes, but maybe even college football athletes, giving Michigan, again, an unfair advantage heading into games against opponents. Now, if this was just strictly a football thing, then Jim Harbaugh obviously needed to be in trouble for this and should be in trouble for this. Ward Manuel absolutely should be in trouble for this, for allowing this to go on. And again, I can hear some of you already. They fired him already. They fired him for this. Guys, listen. You don't just fire somebody and then say, when asked for a comment about, hey, this just came out, we refer you to the FBI. Ward Manuel needs to step up to the plate if he's any kind of leader at all and say, we reject anything that like this happening in our program. And with an internal investigation, any individuals who are still remaining on this staff who were involved in any of this should be terminated and will be terminated. But again, we're going to deflect, we're going to play the victim role, and we're going to say we already fired him. You guys, this is a systemic issue with your program, and it's beyond just one individual. You've had multiple people in multiple programs doing things that give you guys a black eye, with not only in the conference and not only against your rival, but across the country. Why can't you see this? It blows my mind how you guys continually say, why are we the victims? You're not the victims in this. The student athletes who had their pictures ripped off by this guy, those are the victims. Stop playing the victim, Michigan. It's disgusting. And let me give you a perfect example of this, folks. Look at this comment. Look at this tweet from James Yoder. If OSU fans want to punish Michigan for Matt Weiss being a weirdo, they better be ready for the real Epstein files to drop, and the biggest Buckeyes donor, Les Wexner, is shown to be an all-time psycho who lived on Epstein Island for 3 to 4 months a year. Wonder if anyone else from OSU joined him on a trip. James, listen to me. Listen real close, James. If Les Wexner was found to be guilty of what has happened on Epstein Island, I will be the first person to say they should take his name off of Ohio Stadium, and they should make sure he never touches the university again, because he's a trash human being. The fact you want to turn this around upon the rivalry shows me that you're a trash human being. Grow a pair and do the right thing, James. Do the right thing. Tell your program to clean up. This is ridiculous how your fan base plays the victim. This isn't about the rivalry. This is about students who got their identity stolen, and some of them who had private photos taken. This is trash, dude. What a stupid comment, James. My goodness, y'all playing the victim is a ridiculous thing. As a fan base, step to the plate. Stop acting like the victim and say, Michigan, enough is enough. Get your athletic director out of there. Clean house. Clean house. Take responsibility for what has been done here. My goodness. The victimhood you all play. It's a psychosis, my goodness, my dude. All of this reminds me of a Bible verse, and some of you really need to take it seriously. And to my brothers and sisters in Christ who are Michigan fans, listen to this fat preacher. We have more in common than we have not in common when we're brothers and sisters in Christ. Remove the hate you have for me as a Buckeye fan. And listen to these words closely from Galatians 6:7. Be not deceived. Stop being deceived, Michigan fans. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. No truer words have ever been spoken on this podcast than that from Galatians chapter 6. I am not an innocent man by any stretch of the imagination. I'm a man who's went through a divorce. I'm a man who's made mistakes. So for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. But I have taken responsibility for my mistakes. I have taken responsibility for my shortcomings. And I have gone to the throne of God, and I've asked for forgiveness for what I've done that is wrong and sinful in my life. As fans, stop making excuses for what your team and your school has continually done time and time and time again. Stop idolizing people like Jim Harbaugh, who makes you look foolish when he says, I've never cheated, lied, or stolen, and has been caught lying and definitely cheating by stealing signs. Stop it. Stop idolizing those people. Stop it. And if Ryan Day, the head coach of Ohio State, were to be caught doing something like this podcast and this fat Buckeye would be the first person that says he should take responsibility, step to the plate, step to the microphone, and say he was wrong. It's ridiculous how you all act so childish, so immature. Oh, it's Ohio State. What about Les Wexner? James Yoder, grow a pair, dude. My goodness, for someone as successful at this as you are, you would think you should know what's right and what's wrong. Call them out. I'm calling you out to call them out. Clean up your program, Michigan. Have a good Friday, everybody. Be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH. Sing Carmen, Ohio with all your heart. Till next time, you know what to do. Go Bucks.